This is a Pod Dealers Network podcast.
What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
Bar. The rants of the vindicated.
It's my podcast and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live?
It's not working for me, Rich. Right, we gonna keep going. I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
Ready.
I feel like the Neanderthal.
Staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school.
Suicide attempts, how many tries to take? They ain't ready.
How can a bad touch feel good? How do we make amends when we use one another? Call me a friend, then abuse one another. Not powerless, the cowardice of you motherfuckers to leave me all alone with new feelings I'm confronted with. Was minding my own and I ain't asked for none of this. But with some acknowledgement I could've got in front of it. To keep my wife and kids from bearing the brunt of it. There's gotta be a path to healing and revealing all the feelings of shame that's been dividing me in half. Anxiety on overdrive, reminders of the past.
I'm shook, scared to look, word to Prodigy and have. Yo, that's probably gotta be one of my favorite verses, at least of this year. It's gonna make it on the way to the all-time favorite verses list at some point. Anyway, welcome to another episode of the What is TWS podcast. As always, I'm your boy J. Flan, representing the White Pants Society. And I gotta start by thanking you, first and foremost, for taking whatever time out of your day to come chill with me, listen to my random ramblings, whatever it is we do here. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I do greatly appreciate that. Yeah, man, a lot to unpack on this one. We'll start with that. That is, man, it's No Wish, Black Milk, Fonte, and Raphael Sadiq. That's from Black Milk's new album, Everybody's Good or Everybody Good. I'm fucking the title up, but Black Milk, search for it, new album. It's out. I know Nas just dropped a project, and that's a dope album as well, but I feel like I gotta rep this one because it might not get the same spins, and I'm really fucking with the album. It's a dope album, but that particular song, No Wish, that verse from Fonte, is crazy. Might be, I have described it as immaculate. I think it's a super dope verse, very personal, touches on some, real topics, real things that happen to people. And it sets the backdrop for what's going to be, I don't know, at least a 2-part, maybe 3-part series where I'm going to go through the adventure that I just had, taking the trip to Cleveland, of all places. So that's what we're doing this afternoon. That's what we're doing tonight, this morning, whenever I record this, whenever you listen to it, that's what we're doing. But before we get to that, we got to do what we always do. We got to start with the Chef Elise report.
I'm Peppy.
Yes, sir, I am. Not a whole lot to report. Last week, this was not my weekend with her. Obviously, I was off in Cleveland, so we didn't have any adventures, no Chef Elise and Daddy adventures. We are I think less than a month away from school starting, so I got to get geared up for that. We need to go do some back to school shopping and all that cool stuff. Like just being a parent, I don't know. Every time I think I have budgeted for expenses, I remember this thing happening. Like kids just cost money all the time. Like they just I don't know. It's just a running tally in my head, just constantly. Just be prepared because you're gonna have to spend something else. But whenever I'm spending for my sweet pea, it don't bother me much. I am gonna try to do tax-free weekend. I've never really taken advantage of the tax-free back to school weekend situation, but that's my plan for this year. We've been buying school supplies and stuff just during the off season, ahead of time for the rush to try to be prepared. So I think we got almost everything on that list checked off. I got a few things, but we do need to get some shoes and a backpack and lunchbox. That's kind of been our tradition so far to kind of, for me and her to kind of ease the transition of her going back to school. It's like every year we go get a new book bag, new lunchbox. So she has something to be excited about. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm not necessarily looking forward to taking her clothes shopping. I guess I should be enjoying this time because right now that's not her thing. She don't really care. She really doesn't care. And taking her clothes shopping is just irritating because I'm just like, yo, can you focus, with me for a second? Can you help me pick out, stuff that you would want to wear? Can you try it on? And she just wants to be everywhere else. She does something that I used to do as a kid. I didn't realize how annoying it was until it came back on me. Just one of those things I gotta call my mom and like apologize for. But she'll hide in the middle of the clothes racks and just like disappear. And I'm a little bit of a helicopter dad when I'm out with my daughter. Like I need to be able to see you at all times. I need to know where you at, like that kind of thing. And like when I'm looking at clothes and I look up like, hey, what you think of this? And she's gone, like she's disappeared. That shit is infuriating. I get scared and then mad, one after the other. And I can remember I used to do that to my mom all the time at like malls and stuff. Cause it'd be me, my mom, and my sister. And I don't, maybe because they was both women, or maybe because girls' clothes, according to my mom, was just cheaper. A lot of times when we'd be at the mall, they'd be shopping for her. And she was more agreeable. Like I didn't agree with my mom on nothing, and it's very difficult for her to pick out stuff for me. Whereas my sister was just, yeah, mom, let's do it, whatever. Yeah, I like this. You like this? Yeah, yeah. Like they was all into that kind of mode. And so I just be in the mall and they'd be shopping. It wasn't for me, so I didn't care. So I'd be, hiding in clothes racks and, making my own little adventure in the mall. And she routinely couldn't find me. And she would say stuff like, you got like 2 minutes to make yourself seen or I'm going to leave. And you never believe it's going to happen till it fucking happens. And yeah, she left me in the mall. And damn, what mall was it? I'm trying to think. I can't remember the name of the mall. Iverson Mall, indeed. If you're from the DMV, you know Iverson Mall. She left me in Iverson Mall and like Woody's or some shit. I don't even think Woody's exists. But she left me in the mall and went home. And this is like pre-cell phone era. So there was no like calling her on the way home and she turned around. Like I had to wait for her to get home, answer the phone. I don't even know if we had an answering machine back then. So like I had to wait for her to get home, answer the phone, get the call, and then decide to drive back to the mall to get me. So I learned that lesson the easy way. But I learned that lesson quickly. It wasn't easy, but I learned that lesson real quick. Like stop fucking with moms, because when she say she gonna leave, she gonna leave. I can't imagine actually doing it, to my sweet pea, but I don't know. One of these days, something like that might have to happen just to teach her a lesson. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Anyway, that's all I really got for the Chef Elite Report.
I'm Peppy.
Proud to be. Yes, I am. Yeah, let's get into this episode. So I've been talking, for a couple weeks that I was going to go to this 4C conference. I want to say, what is the 4Cs? It was like the Conference for Content Creators of Color. I guess them the 4Cs. So that's what I was doing this weekend. And that took place in Cleveland, Ohio. And so, I had to catch a flight out to Cleveland. I went to work. I flew out on Friday. I went to work that Friday. And, I'm telling everybody I need to leave a little early because I got to make it to the airport. And everybody's, oh, man, you flying out, man? Where you going? You going any place fun? I'm like, nah, Cleveland. Like, it's not, nothing fun. I can't imagine anything fun about Cleveland. But, I was going to meet up with some very dope people that I feel like I know, I consider friends. We've socialized a lot. I probably talk to them more than I talk to, anybody other than my daughter at this point. And going to finally meet him in person. So I was excited about that. Not so excited about going to Cleveland, but it is what it is. So, I worked damn near a whole day and called an Uber to the airport. I'm going to catch this flight. So I'm waiting in line to board, right? Because I gotta preface this. Like, I tend to call certain shit on myself. Like, I think I create mentally some of the bullshit that happens to me. Because I see the situation and I'm like, damn, that'd be a fucked up situation. And then the next thing I know, I'm in the situation. And this was exactly one of those type things. Like, I saw it coming, pause. Hold on.
Pause, nigga.
And somehow, like, I called it into existence. Like, that seems to be a superpower of mine. But I'm waiting in line to board this plane. And I'm flying, like, super economy. I tried to get the cheapest tickets I could possibly get. Like, this was just a financial crazy time for me. I had to fly to D.C. for a funeral, switching jobs. Now I'm getting paid once a month. It's just just a crazy time for me financially. So I knew I was going to this thing. I wasn't not going to go, but I had to try to get there the cheapest way I could. So I'm flying like super economy. Didn't even, couldn't even pick my seats. All week, they've been sending me emails. American Airlines was sending me emails like, hey, you want to pick your seats? And every time I see the email, I was getting excited, like, oh, okay, I get to pick a seat. And then, you click on the thing, and like every seat, to pick a seat, you got to pay. And if you want the aisle seat or the window seat, you're probably going to pay a little more. You want to be closer to the front, you're going to pay a little more. And I was like, fuck that. I ain't paying for shit. I ain't paying shit else extra, I'll roll the dice. We'll see what happens. It is what it is. So I'm standing in line to board. I checked in early, like as soon as I possibly could, so that they would assign me a seat. And I see that my seat is like on the last row of the plane. I got the last window seat on the plane. So it's a window seat, so I'm cool. Like I'm not in the middle, window or aisle. I'd have been fine. I prefer the window, but whatever. I'm not in the middle. Dope. It's okay with me. But they got me boarding like in group 9. So that's basically, I don't even know why there is a group 9. They don't call shit like after group 7. Like after group 7, they be like, all right, everybody else. Like, so don't even put the group 9 on. Just say last or everybody else or something. Like, don't give me a number that you never gonna call. That's irritating. But so I knew when I saw group 9, like, just play the back. Just chill. Like, it's no point in you standing up trying to get in line, because you know what I'm saying? Everybody's getting on the plane. You here, we gonna get on the plane. It's gonna be fine. Like, just chill. So I'm just hanging back and I'm people watching. And so I see this dude, and I mean, he stood out to me because, like, it was just a weird dude. It's just weird. I am trying to like make personal judgments on the dude because of what eventually happened. But at that time, he was just a weird dude. Rather large individual, fairly large. He's wearing like shorts and like, stuff that didn't necessarily fit, for somebody his size. I believe that no matter what size you are, you can find clothes that work with you. This didn't even look like I'm flying, so I want to wear what's comfortable. This just looked like, I don't know, I pulled something out of my little brother closet, and this is what we rocking with today. And so, but it wasn't just that, because my mom taught me, you never make fun of people's shortcomings or misfortunes and shit like that. Like anything outside of their control. And I don't know, maybe you have a glandular issue or some other health issue that's the reason that you're that size. So maybe that's outside of your control. I don't know that for sure. The clothing situation, I don't know that for sure. I don't know if that's within your control. So I'm going to try to give you a pass on that. But beyond those things, like he had that situation where, like, I guess he walks on the inside of his foot. And so the shoes was just like, they had just given up, like the inside part of the shoe. I was just like, fuck it. And it was just completely slanted to the ground. And so that drew my attention down his feet. And then when you got to the feet, and this is a pet peeve of mine, the nigga was ashy as fuck. Like, just no attempt in my mind to put on lotion. And that bothers me. That really, I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it fucking does. Like, I need you to moisturize. Like, I need that to be a priority, especially the parts that other people can see. Like, if you was wearing jeans, I don't give a fuck how ashy you are. I don't know. So why would why would I care? But if that's going to be exposed to me and my vision, just moisturize. And it was like severe ash. And you could see where he had been scratching. So like this, not only are you ashy and it's offensive to me, but it's also bothering you because now you itch and you scratching, and now I can see the claw marks on in your leg from where you scratching. That also shows me, because I was going to give him a pass, like, you a big dude and it's like your calves and your ankles, maybe you can't reach those. Like, I could understand. I could, in my mind, and other strategies, maybe you get like a rubber spatula on a stick or something and like use that to smear some lotion on your leg. I don't know. I feel like there's ways to work around that. But I was going to try to give him that pass, but if you're scratching, then you obviously could reach it. It just, baby oil, whatever, Crisco, whatever you got to find, like, you could do something to moisturize. So I was irritated by that. And then I also feel like if you don't if you don't care about the parts of you that I can see, then what else is going on? Like, what in the spaces that's hidden, are you giving at all a fuck about those spaces? So now, I'm concerned. And then the hair was just unkept. Looked like, my mom used to say, it looked like rats been sucking in your head. And she used to say that, and I used to think like that's a very harsh way to describe somebody's hair. But I looked at this man's head, and that's the first thing that popped in my head. It looked like rats been sucking on your head. So it was just from top to bottom, it was a situation. And I'm assuming like maybe he's on the spectrum. Maybe there's some issues there that I'm not aware of. And so as appalling as this situation is to me, I need to put God first and relax, chill, let this man be. But I out of all the people boarding this plane, this guy caught my eye, and I just had a few minutes where I had to process this. But whatever. I get on the plane, and somehow I guess I get on the plane before he does. Because I'm like I said, I'm playing the back. So the only way that I see him is because he's in front of me. But somehow, some way, I get on the plane before he does. I find my seat all the way in the back, window seat. I sit down, get my seatbelt on, my belt buckle, whatever they call that shit. And I'm chilling. Got my phone out. I'm going to play some games. It shouldn't be that long of a flight. I'm going to be okay. And so I'm sitting there. And I'm sitting there for what feels like a considerable amount of time with like nobody else in the row with me. Now, they told us before we got on the plane that the plane was fully booked. So I'm expecting at some point, I'm going to have some aisle mates. But at the moment, it's nobody there. And then at the last second, as if it was just predetermined, as if somehow me staring at this dude and sitting there coming up with all these thoughts about his appearance and what must be going on with him, it's as if God said, I need to teach you a lesson. So guess who sits right next to me in the seat directly next to me in the back of the plane? It's my man. It's Mr. Rat Curls himself. Crazy. Mr. Ashy himself. He sits right next to me. And so, no problem. Like, I don't care. I didn't come here to make friends. I didn't plan on having I'm not one of the people that's going to have a conversation with the person sitting next to him on the plane. You don't exist in my mind. I'm going to try to go to sleep. I'm going to play some games on my phone. I'm going to do the little in-flight entertainment, whatever it is. I ain't really concerned about you. I got the window and I got my phone. I don't even need to turn my head in that direction. We good. But he sits down, and this is one of them situations. And I'm not. If you are a large person, it's no diss to you. Like I'm a small person, and sometimes I wish I wasn't this small. I wish I could be a little bit larger. I spent a large part of my life trying to gain weight, and now I wish I could lose a little bit of weight. But it would be dope if I had an intimidating size to me. I don't. So maybe there's some jealousy in there, but I'm not. I don't want to make it seem like I have an issue with people in their weight or their size. I don't. I have an issue when you act oblivious to the fact that you're that size, and it has an impact on the people that you are around, especially in close quarters, like a fucking airplane. So he sits down, and I got the, you can pull the little armrest down. So I got the armrest pulled down on both sides because I'm like, let me establish my space. I'm going to go ahead. I think me and Ross Sads had a conversation about whether or not you take the armrest or you what armrest do you decide you had? Do you get the one on the end or do you take them both? Whatever. Like, I'm going to put the armrest down and I'm going to claim both of them. And then we just going we're going to make a decision when the time comes to make a decision. So I got the armrest down. He sits down and, he leans over to me and he's like, hey, man, you mind if I lift this up? Because I need to get something out of my pocket. So not a problem, dude. I understand that you can't reach that pocket in that limited amount of space. It's cool. It's a temporary thing, right? We're going to lift it up. You're going to get whatever it is you need to get out your pocket. You're going to put it right back down and establish the boundaries the way I had them set before you sat down. Cool. Not a problem. So he lifts the thing up and reaches to get whatever it is in his pocket. I think it was his phone. He gets the phone out. And then the armrest doesn't come back down. And I'm noticing that at this point, it probably can't come back down Because once it went up, like he just, lack of a better word, he just oozed, into my space a little bit. I'm like, all right, this is the thing. So I'm thinking with the whole package of homie, with the no lotion and the hair and the shoes and the clothes and I'm just like, maybe again, there's issues that I don't understand. I need to just get this man a pass. Life must be hard for him. Things have been going well for me recently, so let me just extend some grace. I can be slightly uncomfortable for a little bit, because I feel like that's where we at right now. A decision has to be made. Like, a decision has to be made whether or not I'm going to sacrifice my comfort so that you can be comfortable, or if you're going to recognize that you being comfortable impacts the people around you. Like, in order for you to have enough space to be comfortable, that means somebody else can't have the space that they paid for. But I'm like, fuck it, I'm not even, whatever, homie. Like, maybe this flight is what you need, where somebody shows you some compassion and that you feel better for the rest of the day. I don't know, but I'm going to do that. So, all right, the little armrest don't come back down. It is what it is. So I'm sitting there and I'm uncomfortable, and I'm starting to feel a little irritated, and I'm trying to fight, like, feeling irritated. Like, you shouldn't feel that way, Flan. Let it go. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And then, right at that moment, something miraculous happened. Like a ray of sunshine. Like, you see on the movies when the miracle happens and like the rays from heaven beam down. It's like, like this is the moment that you needed to make you feel better about whatever situation you was in. A fucking miracle happened. The dude like crosses his arms and like gets comfortable in the seat. And he had to know that by like when you cross your arms, you wide, and you cross your arms and you just got wider. So in that moment, that cleared everything up for me. Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not whatever it is I'm thinking that deserves a pass. You an asshole like everybody else, and you don't give a fuck that you are now encroaching on everybody's space. You saw a small dude sitting in the seat next to you and was like, bet, now I can be comfortable because I can eat up the space that he wasn't necessarily using. And I just want it because I like to have a donut at all. I like to have a donut around me at all times. I need my personal space. You like, fuck you and your personal space. I'm going to cross my arms, not put the armrest down after I finished reaching for my phone, and I'm going to get real comfortable because my comfort is so much more important than yours. I see that you was making this decision to sacrifice your comfort for me, but fuck you. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And that's exactly what I needed to happen, because I'm sitting there trying to fight being irritated with this man because I'm thinking, he may have some struggles and let me give him a pass. But no, we passed that now. It's not, you don't struggle. You just a jerk. Like, that's just what it is. You just one of them people who don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about your ankles. You don't give a fuck about, your belly hanging out the shirt. You don't give a fuck about your hair. You don't give a fuck about your shoes. You abuse everything around you, and now, you included me in that. So, all right. So now it was fair game. So I decide, passive aggressively, you're an asshole. I'm going to be an asshole. So I'm going to sit right next to you on my phone, full brightness, on my way to the conference for content creators of color. I'm going to create some fucking content. You going to watch me write an episode about you while we on this plane. And we going to play chicken and see who going to say something first. So I'm sitting there, I'm writing the episode about the nigga ashy ankles and the fucked up hair and the shoes that's giving up on life and everything. I'm writing it directly in front of him in as large font as I possibly can. I'm sparing no feelings or nothing like that. Like, all the shit I'm saying right now about homie might have been on the spectrum, show him some compassion. It's not exactly what I was typing in that moment. It was getting pretty disrespectful because I feel like he was disrespectful. And then, mind you, like I said, I'm on the back of the plane. I'm in the very last row in the window seat. It did cross my mind that dude could just smother me at this point, and I don't know if the air marshal gonna make it back here in time. I don't know if anybody gonna hear me scream on the plane. whatever. It could just get muffled. It could be it for me. But we playing this game now because you want to cross your arms and make a bad situation worse, just by getting wider. So fuck it, this what we gonna do. We didn't establish this already. I'm rolling the dice. It is what it is. And then right at that moment is when, right as I started to feel good about my decision, and like this is the life I'm choosing. This is the way direction I'm going in. That's when the karma started to hit me. One, I noticed, at his size, maybe homie's narcoleptic because he was fucking asleep. It didn't matter. It didn't fucking matter what I was typing. At the moment his arms crossed, that nigga passed the fuck out. Just back out, gone. And then as a side product of that, this big dude is asleep. It's no armrest to protect me. The motherfucker starts slowly, like, leaning, just slowly sliding. Like maybe the plane or gravity was tilting in that direction, but slowly he starts just easing. And it was fucking horrible. Like, it was one of those things. Like, it was so, like, it got so bad that every once in a while the plane would tip in the other direction, and then he would, slide back over. And it's like you didn't even realize how much weight was being pressed down upon you until it was lifted back off. And you was like, God damn, like, this is what it feels like to be normal again. Like, it was fucking bad. This dude was crushing me in the back of the plane. No amount of like moving or like trying to shift my elbows, nothing. Like, nothing was waking him up. Nothing. Like, it was fucking bad. It was horrible. It was at the point where I'm sitting there, like, I saw this dude in line. I saw all of this, like, before it happened. It's not possible. This is not regular life that I could just, it's a random ass occurrence. Like, there's no way shit could be this random that I'm in an airport, see a dude, and then somehow I end up sitting directly next to him and all this shit is happening. Like, I feel like I must be being punked right now. Like, I just, in my mind, Ross ass had something to do with this. I don't know how he could have possibly set it up, but there's no way that this shit just happened. There's no way that this shit just happened. He had to have something to do with it. Just trying to fuck my trip up, or maybe give me some content, whatever it is. But yeah, fuck you, Raw. I know it was you. You can deny it all you want to. I don't know how you did it, but payback is a bitch. But anyway, but it gets worse. It gets worse. So fuck this dude. I survived that shit. I get off the plane. One thing, let me say this to people on planes. We all getting off the fucking plane. They're not holding you hostage on the plane. When the shit lands, you don't have to get up and stand in the aisle for like an hour waiting. Cause this shit, they don't immediately open the door. You just standing there. Like, it's not a mad dash to get off the plane. Like, maybe you got a connecting flight, I guess, my nigga, but just sit the fuck down and chill. Like, just relax and stop acting like it's a competition to see who get off first. It's not gonna be you. Unless you're sitting in first class, it ain't you. So chill. Like, just whatever. So I'm hanging back. I get off the plane. It's like after midnight when I land in Cleveland. The homie Raw had been called. This is why I know he had something to do with it, because he was calling me while I was in the airport, and sent me a couple texts like, let me know when you take off. Like, I think he was like, yeah, let me know when the fat nigga sit next to you. I want to make sure my plan went through. Like, he was texting me and everything. One of the messages he had sent me was to make sure that I hit the hotel and set up the shuttle so the shuttle could come get me from the airport. So I made sure I did that. So I think I mentioned on the episode before that me and Raw was going to share a room. Like I said, I was financially, it wasn't good times for a nigga. So, cheapest flight I could possibly get, I'm going to book a hotel room. We're going to share this room. We're going to split the cost. It is what it is. So I get to Cleveland. It's 12:30. I done worked all day. I done sat next to, rat hair nigga with no lotion and shit. And I'm tired. And I had a day. I had a fucking day. And I blame it all on Raw. But he wasn't done yet. He wasn't fucking done yet. So I called the hotel. They say the shuttle's coming to get me. They know who I am. Because they was asking, what my reservation was. Told them the reservation. They was like, oh, you staying in the room with, I ain't gonna use his government, but you staying in the room with Raw Sass? I'm like, yeah. They're like, I bet. Shuttle will be there. Shuttle comes to pick me up. So I could tell from the condition of the shuttle what the hotel was going to look like. It is what it is. I'm only here for like, 2 nights. I'm like 30 hours tops. I'm in and out, pause. So we cool. So I get off the fucking shuttle. I walk through the little automatic doors of the hotel, and I don't even make it to the front desk. I don't make it to the front desk. Soon as I walk through the double doors, dude at the counter was like, "Oh, you must be Jared." Like, yeah. He's like, "Okay, room 409 on the 4th floor." Of course, nigga, you ain't have to, whatever. Room 409 on the 4th floor. They told me not to give you a key. You're going to have to go up there and knock. They're not going to answer on the first knock. I guess it's a hazing type thing. Whatever. And so I'm like, and at this point, like I had such a day that I just wave it off like, whatever, nigga. Mind you, the reservation is in my name. The reservation is in my name. Who the fuck is Ross ass to tell the people at the hotel don't give a key to the room for the nigga who the reservation name is in? Like, it's my room, and you let a nigga that he have no affiliation with your hotel, parent company, none of that shit. I'm sure y'all don't know what All on the Table is. Maybe they was All on the Table fan. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe, but anything's fucking possible. Maybe Big Dude was the All on the Table fan as well. I don't fucking know. But I'm trying to figure out where this nigga got the authority to tell the hotel not to give me a key to my room. But it took a minute for that to fucking even dawn on me. I'm just done at this point. I go upstairs. I can hear these niggas in the room when I get off the elevator. Like, Ross says, savagely humble. Those are the voices I can pick out. I didn't realize I knock on the door. We go through the whole rigmarole. Who is it? Nigga, fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I ever said what my name was. It was a couple of things I ain't gonna repeat. Exchange back and forth through the door. The door finally opens. It's in my mind, it's like a room full of people. Like it wasn't that many people, but in my mind, it's a room full of people, and they chopping it up, having a good time. And the crazy thing about the whole like weekend for me is that it didn't feel like I was meeting anybody. Like, it didn't feel like I was walking into a room with some people I don't know, and like, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. It wasn't one of them type situations. It was like, oh, they go flying. There's Raw. Like, it was just like, it felt like I was walking into a hotel room with niggas I went to high school with or something. And we just was like, yo, oh, I see you, you see me. Bow. That's what it is. Sit the fuck down. Jump into the conversation. Ain't no, we ain't had to exchange any pleasantries, nothing like that. Then the nigga offers me a mint, and I'm like, what the fuck are you trying to tell me something? I know I've been on a plane for a couple hours, but like, my breath don't stink. What the fuck, what you giving me mints for? But he was forcible about the mint. He was like, nigga, take the mint. Like, I don't want a mint, but whatever. It's like, these the good ones. All right, fuck you. Like, give me the mint. So he gives me a mint. It wasn't until like the next day that I realized those the mints at the front desk, because I never made it to the fucking front desk. I walked into the hotel, and from a distance, the nigga was like, I ain't giving you a key. This shit is crazy. There's so much more that happened on this trip, and we gonna get into it because there's gonna be several parts to my adventures in Cleveland. So stay tuned for next week. I'm gonna do part 2 of this. I think that's gonna be the don't throw your titty fruit at me. That's gonna be the name of next week's episode. I got to tell you this week so you'll be hyped up to tune in. But if you want to understand about the titty fruit that was thrown, you got to tune in next week to Flan's Adventures in Cleveland. But that's what it is. That's all I got for you this week. I only have one of those, if you know this, if you know nothing else. No, I don't have one. It was a whole shit. It was a whole shit. But it was a good time. Good times were had. There was some traumatic experiences. I definitely relate to that Fonte verse. So go check out the Fonte verse, and then you might understand, the stories that's on their way. But they will involve titty fruit. I needed somebody to know. With that being said, y'all be safe. Y'all be easy. Be the light. And know this, if you know nothing else. I said I wasn't doing that. See, I'm so discombobulated. It's what happened when somebody lean on you, when a fat nigga lean on you for hours at a time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm recovering from this trip. I'm still sober. I didn't drink or smoke nothing the whole time I was up there. But like I went to work today and felt like I had been through something. Like I needed to recover from something. Like I wasn't right. It's fucking weird. It was an experience. But anyway, be safe, be easy, be the light. I fucking love you. I'm out. Holla.
Last call for alcohol. Yeah. If this is it, like if this is the last joint, if this is the last hurrah, it's the last call for alcohol, baby. I gotta say, whether you knew it or not, it's pretty much at the finest bar establishment, the finest spirits and libations y'all could have had, baby. You might realize it now, you might have realized it back then. You might realize it later.
Love.